Sinabi ni Pangulong Duterte kamakailan na importante ang COVID-19 testing. Kaya naman ang Department of Health tila ngayon pa lang aaralin ang posibilidad ng free COVID-19 testing sa Pilipinas. Here's Richard Hidarian.
Ang United Kingdom po nag-start ng mass inoculation soon in the United States but also in neighboring countries like Indonesia. In fact, both Indonesia and Vietnam have been developing their own indigenous vaccines. Pero kamusta naman sa Pilipinas? So far, it seems President Duterte only realized almost 9 months into the crisis na kailangan is mass testing. After all, mass testing is extremely crucial to detecting and deterring the spread of the virus. The Department of Health is preparing for the possible conduct ng mass-free testing after President Duterte admitted that ngayon lang niya na-realize na importante yung COVID-19 screening. Ayon sa Health Secretary Francisco Duque III, the DOH is currently computing kung makano kailangan para makover itong mass testing para sa mga Pilipino. The decision by the Department of Health to scramble for mass testing infrastructure kicked off after President Duterte in a televised speech on Monday admitted na ngayon lang niya na-realize na gaano kahalaga yung accessible and affordable mass testing para ma-detect and trace at ma-deter yung expansion ng COVID-19 pandemic sa bansa. Kaya exact figure ang hiningi ng Pangulong Duterte at saka yung number ng test kits na kailangan na i-provide ng gobyerno. Ang mahalaga dito, dapat free of charge sa mga taong bayan dahil nga, testing ngayon ay medyo mahal. Calls for mass testing have been going on for quite some time. In fact, since mid-March when the government imposed a very strict lockdown across major cities in the country. But over time, there were contradictory messages on when exactly the mass testing will be introduced, how important it is as far as the government strategy is concerned, and even if the Philippines has had one of the highest numbers of testing in the region, for some reason, it has not really contributed to the containment of the spread of the virus. Well, mukhang ngayon pa lang na-realize ni Pangulong Duterte na napakamahalaga yung free mass testing. But in fairness to the Duterte administration and the government, we have had one of the highest rates of testing in the region and beyond. But the problem is that it was introduced a little bit late into the game. Dapat mass testing is introduced earlier in the crisis so that ma-contain mo yung spread niya. Because once it spreads all over the place, kahit mag-mass testing ka, it's going to be very difficult to contain the crisis. Once again, the problem is lack of proactiveness, not only late realization by the president on what's necessary. While we're talking about mass testing, our neighbors are moving towards mass immunization and mass vaccines. Ako po si Richard Hidarian. Stand with us, stand for truth.